G.I. Joe fans, Joe Motion Videos 82 here. It is time for another G.I. Joe toy review, and today we are going to be taking a look at the 1985 Bridge Lair. Yeah, this is, I want to say, an iconic vehicle. This is a pretty fun vehicle. It has a lot of play features on it, and I don't want to say it's highly sought after by collectors, but it screams 1980s G.I. Joe to me. This is right at the pinnacle of the popularity of G.I. Joe when they were really putting out good vehicles. This is when they put out the USS Flag, that exact same year. A lot of good toys were starting to come off the toy line in the mid-1980s. Actually, throughout that whole decade, they were putting out a lot of good toys. A lot of different toy companies were popping up, and Hasbro was just pumping them out as fast as they could. And the Bridge Lair was amongst one of these toys that came off the presses, and it was one that I really wanted. When I saw the ad for it on TV, I was like, oh man, there's so much I could do with that. Living out here in the desert, I mean, this was the perfect toy. I was digging in the dirt. I was making roads for my cars and making tunnels, digging tunnels and bridges. This would have been perfect for our playtime with G.I. Joe. I remember there was a stack of bricks that I would play with and make things, make buildings and towns for our Joes. My neighbor would bring his Joes over. Most of the time it was my little green army men that I would play with in these little towns that I would make. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look, get into this review. So the Bridge Lair was first released in the toy stores in late 1984 as a Sears exclusive. It included toll booth, and the Bridge Lair was released everywhere in 1985 and is also on the shelves through 86 and 87. I did not know it was a Sears exclusive. I'm learning as we're going here. That is really cool. So that means that there was a red back file card for this. So we'll see when we get into Byron's gripes if there what the red back file card is going for. That is really cool. I had no idea that this was a Sears exclusive. Very nice. Toll booth was available packaged exclusively with the Bridge Lair Toss and Cross as a Sears exclusive. So it was called the Toss and Cross. So let's go ahead and click on the Toss and Cross and see what that says here. Okay, it's the same thing. Click here for more on toll booth. So now, okay. Toll booth was a part of the 4 series, and he was discontinued in 1987. His legs were originally used with Duke and Gung Ho, and the rest of his body parts were completely original. And there was another toll booth that was made in 1983. The original retail version on this was $9.59. So that was quite a bit of money for this vehicle in 1985. That was nearly 3 or 4 hours worth of work for somebody back in those days. So that was, if you were part-time, that was a day's worth of work to pay for this. If you worked part-time, you only worked 4 hours a day in those days instead of 8 hours. Very interesting. The only weapon that came with him was a sledgehammer. I don't see Toll Booth made a few appearances in the Sunbow series. I don't see anything about his action figure being a part of, this is what I was looking for, being a part of a action figure driver set later being released. Nothing like that being released on Hasbro Direct. Neither was the bridge layer. So that's pretty unfortunate. I would think that he would be a part of something like that, but sadly he wasn't. Okay, Byron, there you go. Oh, gotta love it. I have a plastic tote over here off to the side, and right now I have a bunch of stuff piled on top of it. I'm leaving this in as a gaff, and I tried to set my tablet on top of it and it just fell right off. So anyway, my childhood memories of this, naturally my friend John had this, and we did play with it quite a bit. He had a floor heater, a register, so the heat came up out of the floor in his house, and we would lift up the cover on the register because it just had screws that held it in. The screws were not there, and we would stretch the bridge across that and have them cross over that, or we would set boxes up and cross over that. But being kids, we just used the bridge as a ramp and jumped stuff off of it. I do recall seeing this in the toy stores and on toy shelves everywhere. At the most vivid memory that I have would be at Lionel Plate World, seeing this. You remember when the aisles were floor to ceiling with G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Masters of the Universe, Barbie, My Little Pony, when they would do that, when they were just fully stocked of toys and not left wanting like they are today. Going to Play World was a treat for us back then. And I remember just going in there and staring at the stuff. And the flag, of course, was on the bottom shelf. And I would just gawk at that. And then the toys would cascade. And I remember looking at that and seeing the bridge layer and looking at it like, oh man, I want this so bad. It looked like a fun toy. And it was a fun toy. The box art on it just screamed, take me home. And it was great. A really cool toy to play with. I did enjoy it very much. And the memories of it, with John playing with it and jumping the cars up, jumping the G.I. Joe vehicles off the bridge, using that as a ramp. I mean, Toll Booth, he hardly got any playtime with us. I mean, he's kind of a lackluster character, but the ramp was the star. The bridge was the star of this vehicle. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the review here. Yeah, it's a cool vehicle. Let's go ahead and look at it. All right, here it is, Bridge Lair. So cool, man. Yeah, it's a tank with a bridge on it. You know, I mean, just look at this thing. So let's take a look at Toll Booth first. You could definitely see Duke and Roadblock's legs on him. This figure is in pretty good shape. The O-ring is a little loose. You could tell that's the original O-ring. He is wearing gloves naturally. They are painted black. He is wearing a vest over a green shirt. You can see his dog tags there. His shirt is unbuttoned, wearing an orange construction hat. A very bored look on his face. He is like, why am I even here? They could have done something better with his face. You know, his helmet's cocked over to the left, you know, or off to the right, trying to, you know, make him look a little more excited about that. You know, the helmet is glued onto his head, so if the helmet fell off, he would have a flat head. He does have a web belt with pouches on it. He has a pistol that's slung off on his right leg. No strap to hold it on. It's just strapped onto his leg. And he has brown boots. You gotta watch out for this brown plastic, though. It does become very frail over the years. So be very careful with this. The heels do crack off. But the paint on this is spectacular. The previous owner took very good care of this guy. This is in great condition. Very nice figure. His hammer, he comes with a sledgehammer. This would be to, obviously, a tool that he would need on the job. The handle is pretty thick, so I would not force this into his hands. But yeah, I mean, just see that it's really thick. I would have tried back in the day to do that, but nowadays I wouldn't force that into his hands. They can, you know, I know I make complaints about vehicle drivers not coming with a weapon, but that is a proper accessory for the driver. You know, really no place to store it on the vehicle. You just stick it down into the cockpit with them, I guess. Take a chance of losing it inside the cockpit. This file card has a little bit of mold on it, I guess. That's what it looks like. But it says Bridge Lair driver, Bridge Lair driver, code name Toll Booth. Trying to get the glare out of there. File name Goran Chuck X. For nothing. Okay. Okay. X for nothing. Let me shut there, turn the flash off on that. Get the glare out of there. X for nothing. I guess the X stands for nothing. Serial number 373-1903 60, military specialty combat engineer. So I guess he'd handle explosives as well. Secondary specialty, transportation. Birthplace, Boise, Idaho. Grade, specialist 5. Toll booth love for building started when he was 6. His parents gave him a construction set for Christmas, and he wore it out before he was 7. Every year his sets got bigger and more complex until he outgrew them all. Started building in earnest. Got his master's degree from MIT, needed a bigger challenge, so he joined the Army expressly to sign up for the G.I. Joe team. Stalker says, we're on the way to on the way to an objective and came to an obstacle we can't cross. River, crevasse, mountain, whatever. Toll booth gets us across. We may build a bridge out of whatever's there, blast a pass through solid rock, or lay down a 4-lane blacktop. This man's got magic. Okay, so he could do whatever he wants. This guy is born to be a construction. Born for construction. Okay, and you can see it was cut right off the box there. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the vehicle. Try to make some room here. So the bridge, you can see it is attached to this arm right here. This arm is known for breaking off, so I'm going to be a little bit careful. Yes, I am missing one gun here. I forgot all about that before I started this review, so I apologize in advance for that. But it's the exact, well, not exact, but there's a left and right gun for this, but it does look like this one. So what this does is you lift up the bridge, and it's supposed to extend across. Let me elevate the camera so we could see this, how it works. Okay, so when you lift up the bridge, it will extend out. You can see how the arm works. And then when it lays flat, you're supposed to squeeze this part together and disconnect it from the bridge and roll it across. But you can see where the arm is starting to bow. So I'm not going to disconnect it. And there are some fracture points potentially where it articulates into these holes. But you'd see right, oh goodness, that just scared me, well, popped right out of the hole. You can see a motor in there. Some very nice design where it, that's the motor that operates the bridge. It has dual cockpits for the driver to sit. Just looking at the tank itself, for the dual motors here in the back. Very nice design on that. I will lower the camera so we can get a better look at it here. So much to see with so little space, so we can see it a lot better here. we could see the dual cockpit in there. The motors here, and looks like a cooling system. A lot of detail. I love how they didn't skip on detail. Hasbro was very good about that. I believe these little areas would be storage space for more equipment. We could take a look at the drive trans for the bridge. And the bridge itself, you could see it has a nice little grid pattern on it. It has these two little slots right here where it connects into these little holes here onto those little pegs. It does stay put pretty nice. The gun does rotate a little bit and will swivel back around, so you could fire behind. It comes off fairly easily. There is a left and right gun. This happens to be the left gun. The right gun would have this piece off to the side. Pretty good detail on this. Not much to write home about, but there is detail to it. As you can see, the bridge does come apart pretty easily. It comes off, so you can just use this as a tank, which I don't recall ever doing that very much. Does have a hook on the back. Whoa, I didn't dust this tread off. My apologies. Has a tow hook on the back. The treads here on the side. I just love the treads. It does have individual wheels. It did not see much time outside, so the owner took really good care of this. This was obviously an indoor toy. This tread stays on fairly well. I think the pegs on this, where it snaps in, are broken off. If I remember right, I got a pretty decent deal on this one because it was missing a gun and the treads were broken. Yeah, this is a pretty nice little setup. Toll booth just slides right on in there. And you could fit another Joe on the other side. And to put the bridge section on, you could just, well, here comes the tread popping off. Just squeeze it on there. Boy, this is full of outtakes today. But I'll get it on there. Hold on. Okay, the best way I found to put it on is to slot it in backwards, and it just slid right in. And the track came off pretty easy. You could see it's missing the rear two tabs, so that's why it broke off. But I will put that together much later after the review. And it doesn't help that that thing has fallen off my shelf a couple times too. So, every time one of those has slid off a shelf, by bumping the shelf, or a cat jumps up and knocks it down, you know, my heart just sinks. Is that hard plastic, or even the softer plastic, you know, it stuff is getting close to 40 years old, if not 40. It just degrades over time, especially, you know, out here in this dry air. It does not help, especially the O-rings. I'm replacing those left and right because they dry out pretty quick in this atmosphere. I'm sure people in the Midwest and around the East Coast where there's a lot of humidity, you don't have that problem with the O-rings breaking as often. But out here, I mean, we have like 1 or 2% humidity, if that. Yeah, it's just dry. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about the forecast right now. So let's go ahead and continue here. So, you know, this is the bridge layer. I really do love this vehicle. I mean, there is a lot of detail to it. I apologize for, you know, being so clumsy with it. There's not a lot of space to work with around here. This would have been better with an outdoor review. But this is such an iconic vehicle for 85 and for collectors. A lot of detail on it. The play factor is huge with this. There's a lot going for it. Obviously, there's a lot of pieces that do fall off, a lot of pieces that can break and do break on it. But all in all, the detail, the play factor for it is great. For me, there are two toys in one. There's a bridge that you could play with, and then you have a tank. So you could use it for either or. Your imagination is your only limit for this toy, and that's how we played with it. Like I said, we used the bridge as a bridge, and we also used it as a ramp to jump our vehicles with. You know, Toll Booth didn't get much play time. For us, like I said, he was a lackluster guy. We would just set him off to the side or just have him working on something. Stand him up next to a vehicle and have him repairing it. And that was it. That's how we played with him. Or we would put him inside the bridge layer and have him jump the bridge. You know, whatever it was. And of course the cannons on it, the guns would go flying. But we had fun with it. It's a great toy to play with. Doing this review brought back so many memories, and it makes me want to play with it even now. But looking at the frailty of it, it's just best to leave it up on the shelf. I have a net. You can see this black net that I have. I will just cover it right back over. That's to hide a bin that I have over here with a storage bin. I'll just cover that right back up. So anyway, let's go ahead and get back into my favorite segment, Byron's Gripes. For those of you who stuck around, thank you so very much for staying with me through this review. The algorithm shows that the longest people stay with me is up to 6 minutes, but for those you stick with me to this point, thank you. And I want to thank my new subscribers for taking a chance with this channel. I do really appreciate that. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do. I would really appreciate that. Hit that like button. That helps get my channel helps get this channel more recognition, and that will help the channel grow. I would really appreciate that. It helps the G.I. Joe community out as well. I do Byron's Gripes as a means of entertainment and also education, to give you guys an idea of what to look for as far as prices. I use eBay as a reference only. I don't do it to pick on eBay or the sellers. It's a great website. There are many other websites out there that do sell vintage G.I. Joes, but I do recommend that you go to your local toy stores, vintage shops first to support a local business before you go to a website. You don't have to pay for shipping, and you're also helping out a neighbor. I do sell on eBay, but so I'm not pitching eBay in any way or picking on it. It is a very nice website to use. So I just want to make that clear. It is a nice website. So I don't do it to pick on eBay or the sellers. So anyway, let's get into this, see what's going on with the bridge layer. And I have noticed a downward trend in vintage G.I. Joe toys. Everybody is starting to lean more towards the Super 7 and all the classified. So they're starting to collect those, and the vintage toys are starting to go down in price now, which is nice. So it's taken away from my gripe time here. So anyway, the bridge layer here is one that looks like it is complete for $55.24, marked down from $64.99. That is Midland. I wouldn't pay that much for it right now, but I definitely wouldn't have paid $64 for it. So that's not bad. Here is one. It's just parts. $33.99. It's the upper shell and the bridge. Just the body of the bridge layer and the bridge. $33.99. If you're looking for those parts. Here is, it's up for auction. Here's Toll Booth complete. He is all together, no broken parts, no broken crotch. That's good. With the file card, $29.95 or better offer. I will put that up with deal of the day. That's not too bad since he's or better offer. Shipping is not bad on that. Here's a complete bridge layer for $24. Oh no, it's missing the upper part of the bridge. Never mind. But $24 on that. I'll put that up with deal of the day. Here is the right gun, $2.95. Not bad. Here's a complete bridge layer with blueprints, $35, but they're wanting $39.95, $39.85 for shipping. Having sold stuff already and giving the size of this, the shipping cost on that, I wouldn't have charged that much for shipping because eBay automatically sets the shipping on that judging by the size of the box. So that to me looks a little bit high for shipping. So I won't call that deal of the day. But just for the cost of the bridge layer, yes, I'll call that deal of the day. Here is a Toll Booth just by himself, $16.19. I don't think so. Here's a left gun, $9.99. That's a little too expensive. Here's another complete bridge layer with Toll Booth and his hammer, $79.99. A little too expensive. Here is a complete one, just the bridge layer, $47.99. $18.44 shipping from Canada. $47.94 deal of the day. Broken Toll Booth. The O-ring is broken, no problem. $18. Complete bridge, $11.95, deal of the day. Another complete bridge, $17, deal of the day. File card, $9.99, deal of the day. Complete bridge, complete vehicle, $56.99. Just the body of the vehicle, $27.99. People are cannibalizing these. 2 right guns, $9.99. I wouldn't buy the 2 right guns because there is a right and left, as I had pointed out in the review. Complete bridge, $9.99, deal of the day. This does not look complete. Looks like the control bar is missing, $20, but you could buy the control bar. Deal of the day, complete toll booth, broken crotch, $19.99. A little too expensive. Just because it says G.I. Joe, it does not mean you're sitting on a gold mine. This guy was available for 2 years. 3 years actually, because he was available from '84. So there's a lot of them out there. Here's complete with hammer and file card and complete vehicle, $74.99. I'll put that up at deal of the day. File card, $7.99, deal of the day. Complete vehicle, $49.99, deal of the day. His mallet, $14.75. You could keep it. Left gun, $3.99, deal of the day. Complete vehicle, $49.95, deal of the day. Left gun. What's with the left guns? Oh, here's a right gun, $3.99. That's the one I need. Bridge, $9.99. Oh, the wheels. Complete set of wheels, $5.95, deal of the day. Bunch of left guns out here. One wheel, $2, $15 for the mallet. Another left gun. Oh, here is the control bar, $19.99. The dude's wanting $29.99 in shipping. No, man, you're gouging on the shipping. Speaking from experience here, I don't gouge on shipping, but I know that's a $5.95 ship on that. Absolutely not. That bar does break. That's a commonly broken piece. $19.95, that's a fair asking price, but $29.99 in shipping, you could keep it. $97 for a complete bridge layer. That's asking way too much. $27.95 for a hammer and a file card. No, thank you. $25 for a complete toll booth. You could keep it. $29.99 for a bridge. No, thanks. It's all they put an American flag on it from. It looks like from the observation tower. Okay, that's nice. Pair of guns, $19.99. Toll booth, file card, he's unbroken, $25. $15 for an unbroken toll booth, deal of the day. Pair of right guns, or pair of left guns, $19. People don't seem to think that there's a right and left gun here, it looks like. $124 for a complete one with the blueprints. No, thank you. There's one with the blueprints complete without the driver. $59.99. Okay, I'll put that with deal of the day. Another one, another toll booth with his mallet, $25. File card, $12. Wheels, 3 wheels, $8. Oh, here's a toll booth with his mallet, $40. You could keep it. $27 with the mallet, $8 for a file card. So, guys, this is not an uncommon thing here. There are many pages, many pages of this. 4 wheels, $4 deal of the day. So you guys, shop smart with this. Okay, this is definitely a build on a budget vehicle. If that's something I haven't talked about in a while. Build on a budget. You buy a vehicle that's mostly complete, and you just add parts to it when you can, and you could save money doing that. Just watch your shipping rates, and you can come in under what the asking price is for on a complete vehicle. I built my Tiger Rat that way, because the Tiger Rat at the time was complete. The highest price was $210. I bought a nearly complete Tiger Rat for under $100, and I completed it, even with the pilot. He's just missing his headset and visor. So I completed it for nearly half the cost. And, you know, that was something, that's where I came up with build on a budget. And I had completed so many vehicles that way. My Tomahawk is another great example. I bought the Tomahawk for $40, and I had most of the parts already and completed that. So that kind of really wasn't fair, because I had bought a huge box of parts for $40, and so that really wasn't fair. But so examples like that, if you have a bunch of parts, you could also complete vehicles that way. So anyway, you know, shop smart, guys. That's the way to do it. Just use your head when shopping. You know, keep your emotions under control. So anyway, you guys, take care. Stay safe out there, please. You know, we're in cold, flu, COVID season. When COVID comes, it's always there. It's winter, spring, summer, fall. Your biggest line of defense is right here. Wash your hands. You know, just keep your hands clean. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to everyone. You never know what kind of day somebody's having. Also, be kind to yourselves, and be kind to your animals, because they know nothing but unconditional love. So until next time, I'll stop playing with my tablet. I'll turn it off later. This is Joe Motion Videos 82 signing off. I'm glad I finally got a full review out to you guys. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.